Of who makes a good start as well. It's AS Roma, all in the maroon, will kick off from right to left in the first half. So it's a little bit gloomy and overcast today. A little bit cooler as well, but hopefully the football on the pitch will just warm things up a little bit. Chris Makins joined me in the commentary box. This is one when we saw the matchup of these two, one we've been looking forward to for a few days now.
It's hard to pull them apart in terms of quality. If I had to go for one team, it'd be AS Roma, just slightly though. But two fantastic sides, and it's got to be the plump side, the quarter-final stage.
It's quite interesting listening to the Roma coach just beforehand saying, look, we don't worry about what the opposition do, we worry about our own game. And it's a very good philosophy to have, isn't it? If you worry too much about the opposition, you can get sucked in and end up changing your strategy to suit rather than the other way around.
I totally agree with that, especially at this stage of your career where you should be focusing on your own development. And he's probably not. I mean, there's the guy on the ball there with the throwing, Tomasini, the fullback there. He's got a very, very difficult day ahead of him if he's marking Metaliev. So don't overload him with information. Let him go out there and let's see how he deals with it on his own.
First touch for Burr in the AS Roma goal. Roma kept a clean sheet in their last match against Kashiwa Reysol. So Boris Skin was the only change, the goalkeeper in that match. Not too many out to watch this one this afternoon, but plenty watching worldwide on our social media feeds on Facebook and on the Alkass International Cup website. We've got some of the Russians at the Spartak Academy watching the match as well, so hope you enjoy the coverage this afternoon. There's Milanese. Bit of space here, Milanese just opened up for him on the edge of the area. Here's Metaliev.
There he goes.
Tried to play the ball inside the fullback, but Suffer was alive to the danger. Just took a little deflection.
It was his first real chance to run at that Roma defence. What a ball that was.
Bamba. Tomasini on the overlap. Tomasini on the overlap down that far side. Trippi. Bamba. So one of the two changes made for Roma today. He's very highly rated by the coach, Maury Bamba. Scored plenty of goals in the under-17 league this season.
Plenty of pace, hasn't he, from the wide areas. It's a lively start to this match.
And the prize on offer is a semi-final against Aspire Academy. Came through last night in that really hard-fought game against Altanordu, and all credit to the Turkish team, having played just 24 hours earlier. They gave a really good account of themselves last night. Just wasn't to be on the day for them, though. Rangers beat Etoile Sportif du Sahel by 7-0. Emphasising their firepower.
Talked about Trippi, the number 18 for Roma, who I like as a defender. He's starting as a defensive midfielder today. He's that good, he can step into midfield, he's got a good range of passing.
Bove closing down. The midfielders do sort of interchange with the forward players as well for Roma. Bove, Astrologo. Free kick goes Spartak's way.
Conditions are ideal, aren't they, Mark? Might be a hint of drizzle. It's great for the players.
It's always a little bit cooler here this time of year for the tournament, so not too hot. Of course, the Winter World Cup will be here in 2022, final on the 18th of December. Couldn't have a World Cup in the summer here, could you? 50-degree temperatures. They'll be passing out all over the place. Cancelleri towards Bove.
What a ball that was. First time ball out wide by Trippi.
Here is again Trippi, Tomasini on the overlap. Good pressure this, good early ball in, good header as well from Astrologo, and a good save by Boroskin.
First real attempt on target, and it's come from AS Roma in the 6th minute. Fantastic build-up by the Italians, end up with a header on target.
Debut in the tournament for Spartak Moscow. First time we've had a Russian team in the Alkass International Cup. Roma had a very different experience when they were here 2 years ago. Lost to Eintracht Frankfurt, drew with Esperance, and had to battle it out for the lower positions.
Unrecognisable, aren't they? Attacking football we've played in this tournament.
Here they come on the attack with Kozadub.
There's that high line.
Yeah.
It's high line's been broken down, and so close there. Evchenikov on the far side just held his run, and I wondered whether AS Roma would play with the high defensive line in this game. This is all they are. Could be something Spartak Moscow can break down.
Kozadub. Clever play from Motaliev because he knew he was in an offside position, so
yeah,
wagged his finger at the player on the far side who allowed him to take over. Levchenko. Yeah, despite losing that opening game against Real Madrid, they caused the Spanish side plenty of problems. A couple of goals in that game from Golyatov. Madrid certainly didn't have things their own way. That's given away again to Levchenko. Here's Golyatov. Good challenge by Butaro.
Why did he give it offside? Just give it straight away. Why are we playing on for a couple of seconds and a couple of phases of play? Just give the offside.
I'm not sure he was offside if you look at Tomasini. One or two of the offside decisions have been a little slow.
Yeah.
So we do have VAR in operation if needed. A couple of contentious VARs. Well, one that was used in an incident where VAR wasn't called upon yesterday.
That was the worst one as well.
Trippi. Roma coming forward in numbers again. It's Milanese trying to stab the ball out.
There we go. Tomasini, let's see what you like against Mutaliev. Mutaliev, oh my word, look at the pace on him. But that's what Tomasini's going to need today. He's going to need the cover from one of his teammates, and he got it from his skipper that time.
Yeah, Chiuchi did well.
Yeah.
Tucked away by Stopiatov. Ball just went out of play. Sufa knew that Kozadub was right behind him. And it was Paolo Di Canio's assistant, Fabrizio Picaretta. Swindon Town and at Sunderland said how much he learned from working under Di Canio. Won the Finnish Cup in 2018 with Inter Turku. And the story actually made it into the Swindon Advertiser, keeping a track on one of their old managers, or old assistant, should I say. He was caretaker coach for a while at Swindon.
Nicky Summer's made a few headlines in the past in the Swindon.
Possibly for all the wrong reasons.
What's it called? The Swindon what?
Swindon Advertiser. Chip forward by Trippi. Cancelleri can't keep the ball in play. He said back then, Picaretta, before he joined Roma, that he wanted to return to England one day, but chatting to him the other day and back in Italy with Roma, he's not from Rome, but he said it's his dream job working back in his home country. So whether that sort of changed his philosophy now about maybe returning to England one day.
Well, he's in charge of a fabulous side, isn't he, at the moment? It will be a massive thrill to him if he manages to see maybe 2 or 3 of his players progress through to the Rome first team. Here we go.
There's Cancelleri.
What a touch.
Oh, wins a corner.
was a great touch out of his feet. Just take the shot on or fizz it across the face of goal.
I think he just clipped his standing leg, didn't it? Just allowed Cromin to get back with the challenge.
Thunder we can hear.
Could well be. It's very dark in the distance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great ball across. And that was Chiuchi that got the header in, but just over the top.
I think it's Bataru. Is it Bataru? Number 7?
Yeah, it was just in front of Chiuchi. It's not too far away. Mutaliev.
Good play. Good play. Oh. Spot too soon.
Suffer. No, too heavy a touch. Grigorev.
Oh, you see Mutaliev on the far side there, Mark. Just slide it in behind that Roma defence. He pushed up, held that high line again. It's a risky manoeuvre.
Would you say it's a frustrating job being a coach of an under-17 team, because you work with a group of players and once they pass under-17 they move up and someone else takes advantage and you get a new group of players? Is it almost a case for saying, okay, well, you pick these boys up at 16 and you move up with them through the ranks until they become a professional, maybe?
I think some clubs do it that way, don't they? You know, some coaches join a squad of players. And 1 second.
Great ball in. Bamba! Cancelleri denied at the near post by Boriskin. Great move again by Roma.
It was the onside. It was a great ball to the far post. Cancelleri just coming in here. Let's have a look. I think he's just on, yeah. He's got good movement, hasn't he? He's a bit of a goal scorer, isn't he? Depends how the clubs want to work it. Just going back to your point before, whether you join a squad of players from the under-12s and see them all the way through to under-16s or under-17s and stick by them and see them develop over the years, or do you just stay at an under-15 level? And obviously so many players pass you by, go through to the next stage. But you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting into before you go to the football club, don't you? As a coach, he's left first team football, hasn't he? The AS Roma coach from Finland, to go to this level. He's threatening to have a real downpour at any second now. Just getting a few spots of rain on our window here. We've got a feeling. I know what the rain's like in Doha. Once it comes down, it's going to be quite torrential.
Let's hope it doesn't affect things too much. Good ball over the top, chase on for Golyatov.
He's got there.
He's got no support in the middle at the moment, though. Chiuchi stuck to his task well. Missing one of their key players tonight. Roma picked up 2 yellow cards in the group stage. Nikola Zalewski scored in the last match against Kashiwa and got a goal in the opening match from the penalty spot against PSG. I think Roma alerted us to their prowess this year when they put 5 past the defending champions. Punched away by Burr and then comfortably gathered at the second time of asking.
People taking cover now in this main stand here. Must be quite heavy, the rain out there.
Yeah, 1 or 2 of the FIFA women's referees are looking on. Could well be our team of officials that have just gone past us for the second match today. Levchenko.
He's been quiet, hasn't he? Bamba. This is better from Bamba. This is what he showed in the first game. Oh, and he had the option to his right there. Is it Bovey on the far side?
A little bit of frustration from the coach as well, who knows he'd done a difficult part there, making space, but then it was just that quality on the end pass, really, for Fabrizio Picaretta's team. Cromin. Gets it back from Kozadub.
It's
high line from Roma.
It's there. What a ball.
Great ball in Cromin, cut out by Chiuchi, an important cut-in interception as well.
It's so obvious, that high line of AS Roma when the defending, isn't it, Mark?
Now this is where Bamba's pace could be important. Genchu just tucks inside. Oh, he's been caught by Frolov. It'll be a free kick.
Might be a yellow card as well. But that high line of Roma, it's so obvious, isn't it? It's only a pass, isn't it? In behind, and they're in there, Spartak Moscow.
Yellow card for Vyacheslav Frolov. So the first yellow card of the game. Yellow cards didn't carry forward from the group stages, so no chance of a suspension as the rain does start to come down. Bamba. Milanese. Great ball whipped in, but again, Boroskin got his body right behind it. I think this is the first time we've had rain during this tournament. Certainly in my 6 years of being here.
Correct. Almost panicking. Here we go. There's that ball in behind.
Golyatov.
He just needed someone to his left, a white shirt getting into the box there. He looked up, couldn't see anyone. Mutaliev was trying his best to get in the box. At least he got a corner from that situation.
This is when being in a glass box doesn't really help. You need some rather large windscreen wipers on at the moment. That's a corner to Spartak. Stepanenko, good ball in. And the ball just squirms away from the goalkeeper. It was Golyatov's header, so Levchenko's header, sorry. Another corner to Spartak. And it comes again right to the back post, and the header not too far away. It was come off the defender. Chiuchi could easily have headed into his own net there.
I thought he was heading to the far post, this one. Let's have a look see how close it was. Oh my word!
Shaved the post. Corner comes in again, bounces across in front of everyone. Tolstopiatov, the man forward. Hoisted back in again, it misses everybody. But it hits Levchenko and goes just wide. He didn't know too much about it.
I think he came off Sufa, the fullback. It was nearly another own goal. It's the left back's final touch here. Oh, you can't see it. Good pressure this from Spartak Moscow.
Another corner. Again bobbling around. Oh, it takes a hit off someone in the penalty area. So many bodies back there.
Well, here comes the rain. So, oh, look how close that is. I mean, if you any chance to shoot, if you're a Spartak Moscow player or a Roma player, get your shots off. Make the goalkeeper work. Keep it low and hard so it skids off the surface.
One ball over the top again, looking for Mutaliev. Tomasini goes across. Just needs to try and hold him out there. There are three white shirts lurking around the edge of the penalty area. Stepanenko's joined them.
Just keep him out there, keep him wide. Don't dive in, well done. And then just wait for your teammate to come and help you. And that's exactly what happened there with Roma. Good play.
Tolstopiatov. Cromin. Put in by Cancelleri.
Well, this is European weather. They'll be used to this, won't they? Both sets of players.
Certainly not too phased by it at the moment. One or two of the Russian substitutes have gone down the tunnel. Milanese draws the foul from Tolstopiatov.
Well, AS Roma definitely started the game the better out of the two sides, but this has been a good period, last 5 or 10 minutes from Spartak Moscow.
Coming up to the 20-minute mark already, still 0-0. Reminder, Rangers and Aspire Academy booked their places yesterday. There were two cracking matches on the other pitch for the 9th and 12th. The 9th to 12th place matches. Bayern Munich beat Raja Club by 2-0, while in the second match, Suwon Samsung were beaten 5-4 by Paris Saint-Germain. PSG had a man sent off. Labia scored a hat-trick. So PSG finishing in 11th place. Suwon in 12th, PSG 11th, Raja in 10th, and Bayern in 9th. And they will be, I'm sure, heading home soon. The Suwon coach is here, actually, just seen him trying to get some shelter from the rain. Stepanenko. So very much a learning curve coming to these tournaments, not just about how you perform, but the whole thing, as we've said all along, that goes around it. Chase on here for Cancelleri. He's all on his own. The angle's tight. Went across goal. He might stay in, actually. Bamba's going to get there and keep the ball in. Pursued by Genchi.
Yeah, I've had to go for goal there or just pull it back, hoping one of his teammates would get on the end of the cross. He elected to go for goal. It was just wide.
93 goals they've scored in the Italian under-17 league this season, Roma. Cancelleri's got 13 of them. Bamba over there on the far side's got 12. So they've got some pretty prolific goal scorers among their ranks.
So Cancelleri, was he offside in that first phase of play? What's going on here now?
Well, someone was offside, because that's the decision that's been given again. Play seemed to go on an awfully long time.
Oh.
Grigorev.
Go on then.
Well, again, lacking the end product from Grigorev. Good run across the field, but doesn't trouble the goalkeeper.
I think he gets a cheeky little nutmeg there. Wonderful left foot on Grigorev. You're expecting him to just let it go then. He just scuffs it wide.
Winners of this one, as we say, will go on to play Aspire Academy in the semi-finals on Wednesday. Losers will take an Alta Nordu for the right to decide 5th and 8th place tomorrow. So 2 games in 2 days potentially for one of these teams. Well defended by Tolstopiatov. Both sides have had plenty of attacking play without really being threatening in the opening 25 minutes or so. So they got off to a great start against PSG Roma. They were 2 up inside 12 minutes. Bove and Milanese were the goals. Likewise against Suwon Samsung, Spartak were ahead after just 3 minutes, 2 up at half-time. It's been really interesting again to see the different styles of the different teams coming into this competition.
This has come to a goal so far. It was an early no-goal from the AS Roma skipper, Giucci. Whisker of going into the
It's a flying header. It would have been if it had been scored at the right end, it would have been a fantastic goal. Just went past the post though. Ball over the top again, looking for the run of Golyatov, but come to be through to Burr. Chiuchi. Looking for some movement up ahead of him. Tomasini. Be a free kick.
It's hardly nothing. It's hardly nothing.
Just a telling off from the Ukrainian referee. suffer. Astrologo. Trippy.
Well, we built the game up as the plum tie of the quarter-final, at the quarter-final stage, and at the moment it's goalless. We've had no real efforts on goal or golden opportunities for either club.
I think the rain has stopped, by the way, after that very sharp shower. So I had a little bit of a slick surface. They do water the pitches quite heavily here anyway. Just making it a little bit slippery on top. Butaro, who's playing as a centre-back today.
Good ball, he's got the pace as well, Bamba.
Well, Bamba just pushed literally by Cromin. He got both hands on him there, I think, Bamba, as he went past him. He's waving the imaginary yellow card. Not too much doubt about that one.
Asking for the yellow card there. Should get booked for that.
I don't think the coach too happy with the challenge either, because Bamba had managed to get past Cromin. We'd had 3 red cards up to yesterday. We saw 3 sendings off in 4 matches yesterday to double the number of red cards. Only one in the quarter-finals was Kader from Etoile Sportive du Sahel. And VAR changed a yellow to a red for violent conduct. Here's the free kick. All those players in a group. Now they'll split and go in different directions. It's in towards the near post. Good save, Boryskin. Who's Trippy got the flick on that. Good reactions from the goalkeeper. Butaro given away to Grigorev. Looking for the run of Golyatov, but once again pushed too far ahead of him.
A tad heavy with the pass.
Oh no, come off the defender actually. Good goalkeeping. Here's Astrologo. Just overruns the ball. So it's all breaking down in the final third at the moment. It looks promising when it's in that middle third, but just lacking that little bit of quality in the last quarter at the moment, or the last third at the moment.
Yeah, so obviously that's where the key to the game is. Who can pick out the final pass or the cross, who can create a little bit of space in the wide areas to put maybe a cross along the ground today, because it's so dangerous along the ground. It'll skid off the surface, so defenders always hate defending in these sorts of situations.
Yeah, these two teams have been 2 of the most productive in the final third in their previous matches, so that's possibly a little bit of a surprise. Coming up to the half-an-hour mark. Game hasn't really livened up just yet. Butaro.
Good play by Butaro. Well done.
Nicely brought down by Cancelleri, who's switched over to that far side. Good defending by Genshu, though, to get a foot in. Tomasini, and again it comes off Genshu for the corner. Loves to get forward, Tomasini. We've seen that in the 2 matches so far. In swinging corner. Just bounces away from Milanese. Bamba, good strong challenge. Milanese slipped through by Bove, but once again Boryskin is able to gather with no challenge.
Yeah, they nearly cut through that Spartak Moscow defence. It was just a final touch from Bamba that let him down. He was nearly in then.
There's a poor ball from Milanese trying to feed it through to Cancelleri. Kozadub. Good pace from Kozadub. We've got Stepanenko behind him who wanted the ball played out wide, but Kozadub opted to go himself, and this is dangerous. Bamba looking to break forward. Bove forced wide though. Bamba just had to check his run, otherwise he'd have been offside.
It was a wonderful run from Bamba, and he needed it playing in, and Bove just couldn't. Well, he didn't see him at all. Bamba was on his bike, he was gone.
He's definitely got the pace to trouble the defenders, Bamba. He just needs that ball over the top.
That's a block, that'll be a free kick, yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, the ball's managed to creep in at the near post. Bove. And finally the breakthrough. Boryskin beaten.
Well, it's nothing spectacular. It's a deep cross. It's an in-swinging cross. Bove climbs above the defender, gets his head off, and we talked about the surface at the moment with that downpour just before, and it just bounces off the surface there, catches the goalkeeper out.
Just got a hand to it, Boryskin. Not enough to keep it out though. Just pushed it into the side netting.
He's got to save it. He's got to save it. He's got to go wide. He's got to push out for the corner. He's in position.
Well, Bove gets his third goal of the tournament. Joins a host of players on that figure at the moment, but more importantly, he's put AS Roma ahead. 32 minutes gone. And finally, something positive in front of goal. Bamba.
We're into the 33rd minute, and you know, I'm still waiting for Metaliev to get on the ball a lot more and maybe trouble Tomasini on the far side, but Tomasini's done well so far, the AS Roma fullback.
Butaro. Suffer. Again, Bamba trying to find some space up ahead of him. It's an awkward ball for the goalkeeper. Very nearly bounced through to Cancelleri, but Boryskin gathers. There we go. Haven't seen too much of Metaliev on the ball as yet. Now he's got a chance to run at Tomasini.
Keep him wide. There we go. I'll wait for Trippier to come over and help you.
He was overhit. Suffer taking no chances, just nods the ball out.
Oh. Here we go.
Oh. Metaliev. Taking on Tomasini again.
Well done. Well done, Tomasini. Read it. Clean sweep away as well. Gave away the corner, but it's good defending.
He didn't dive in too early, Tomasini. Waited till he got a good side to the ball and knew that he could take it cleanly. Gives away the corner.
He's a big fullback, isn't he, Tomasini? So he's not easy to get past.
It's Levchenko that's gone across to take the corner. Oh, great ball across. It finds Tolstopetioven. Headed over.
He got a great run there. He's possibly the biggest player on the pitch. Number 2 there, Tolstopetov. He just got underneath the header.
I'd say possession's been fairly even so far in the opening 35 minutes. Kozidub on the chase. Suffolk gets there first, almost showed him inside there, but manages to recover and concede the throw.
At the moment, the two fullbacks are doing well for AS Roma.
Currently second in the Russian Youth League, Spartak. Trippy. Giving away to Levchenko. Bobbling around on the edge of the penalty area. Bamba. Oh, he's taken out again by Cromin. That will be a yellow card this time. That's the second time Cromin has blatantly taken out Bamba.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Well, he's under pressure now on a yellow.
Yeah, he's got his eyes on Bamba all the way there. This could be the game for Bamba today. I've been impressed by him, but I still think there's more to come. If he can get released by his teammates earlier, he's got the pace to really trouble this Spartak Moscow defence. They need to pick him out just a tad earlier.
Chiuchi. Trippy. And Suffa. Nicely brought down by Cancelleri. Genchi did well. Forcing him back towards halfway. Trippy. Covering was Frolov.
Clever play that by Trippy, just round the corner first time, puts him behind the Spartak defence, turns them. You have to put out for the throw, so Roma get further up the pitch now.
One or two Russians among the crowd. Had a couple of AS Roma fans that have been here throughout the tournament as well. The crowd has grown a little since the start of the match. There's the goal again. Great leap by Bove to get up above the defender, and Boryskin could only help it into the net. Cromin. Kozidub. Mutaliev. Challenged by Bove. Well, left his foot in Mutaliev, so free kick to Roma. A crunching tackle. Bove had only eyes on the ball. No rolling around though, doesn't need treatment, so play continues. Roma leading by a goal to nil. Eduardo Bove with the goal. Both teams can make up to 5 substitutions in the second half. Sure, we'll see plenty of changes. Semi-finals are on Wednesday.
At the moment, the attacking play of Spartak Moscow has just fizzled out and quite comfortable at the back for AS Roma.
Bove, lovely ball inside Genchi, just got a foot in it. Cancelleri chases it down. Can't be done by Boryskin. Stepanenko. Well played Grigorev. Now Mutaliev. Haven't seen too much of him yet running at Tomasini. This might be a chance. Bove's back to help. Mutaliev coming in field. Just ran into Chiuchi.
Well done
and
again.
wins the corner.
Yeah, well done, the Italians really sussed him out today. Then
They're doubling up at the moment, aren't they? As soon as he gets the ball, it's not just Tomasini. There's a midfielder comes around behind to add another player in.
You've got to. He's that good. Well, they've recognised the threat. They've done something about it. The important thing is he's not getting in behind that last line of defence at the moment.
It is Metaliev with the corner. Frolov with Bove. Bove concedes the corner, so plenty of corners in this first half for Spartak, but Roma have managed to defend them well. Got everybody back behind the ball. Boruskin, the Spartak keeper, is actually on the halfway line. I wonder if he knows about Cancellari's prowess for scoring long-range goals. That's a goal kick. It's been frustrating in the first half for Spartak. 4 minutes to go to the break. First quarter-final of the day. Real Madrid against Kashiwa Reysol comes up. Fourth time they've met in the quarter-finals. Golyatov. Genchu. Golyatov. I went to ground early there, Chiuchi, but made the right decision.
Golyatov's hardly been in the game as well, Mark.
Astrologo. Now we'll have a chance to run a crumb in. He's teased him already twice.
He's already been booked as well, but it wasn't the best of first touches from Bamba. To try and isolate the Russian fullback now.
Forward by Butaro. Bamba round the back, but it'll just beat him into touch. Suffer with a throw. Milanese. Bamba. Slipped inside. Crunching tackle from Stopiatov. Suffer wasn't too enamoured by the challenge. It's gone for a goal kick. Tussle between those two. Nothing too much, just competitive. Yeah. Two very competitive players. The onus very much on Spartak to try and break this very good Roma defence down in a couple of minutes to go in the first half, and then the second 45 minutes. Roma looking in control at the moment.
Well, they must be confident because Tomasini, I doubted whether he'd make a few overlap runs today, but you know, with the threat of Metaliev. But he's getting forward now, so he's obviously confident of keeping Metaliev in his pocket, so to speak. Trying to run him the other way now. Metaliev's got to up his game a little bit. Forward line of Spartak Moscow haven't got going.
Great little flick, Cancellari. Bove. Cancellari forced out the penalty area. There's a challenge by Levchenko.
I think he knows where he is. Recognises he's just about inside the penalty box, and yeah, it's a dive. Should be a yellow card, that. No one appealed for it, did they, straight away? But you can tell by the body language.
Genchu. Golyatov. Can Spartak get back into this before half-time? Kozadub. Frolov.
See, AS Roma coming round the pitch there. Spacing behind. Oh, they're doubling up on Metaliev, keeping him out wide, keeping away from the danger area. Tomasini can afford to go tight, dispossesses him, takes the ball off him. Fullback's doing everything right today. He's on top in that battle.
Another offside against Spartak, so free kick to Roma. Marina Strelecka is the assistant referee on this near side. Well, there goes the half-time whistle, bang on the 45 minutes, so no added time. That single goal from Eduardo Bove separating the two teams at the break. Spartak worked hard. Mataliev's had no look at all down that far side. It's been well played by Tomasini, who's had a variety of midfielders helping him out. And it was a quarter-final that we were thoroughly looking forward to. It hasn't quite lived up to its expectations in the opening 45 minutes. It was very nearly an own goal, which put Spartak ahead. They rode their luck a little bit, the whole run of corners from Spartak. But Eduardo Bove rose highest to head in past Boroskin, despite the best efforts of the goalkeeper. And that's the only goal we have at half-time. Roma had much more of the ball, just the 4 shots apiece in that first half. Both goalkeepers called into action. But at the halfway point of the quarter-final, it's AS Roma that lead by 1-0.
نحلق بأحلامنا في سماء الخيال، نمضي نحو المستقبل بكل ثقة في مسيرة من التلاحم. ومتى يحين الوقت ستصبح هذه الأحلام حقيقة، حقيقة تعكس إنجازاتنا طوال السنين، ليولد الحلم ولنفي بوعدنا بتحقيقه.
Don't often get to say this, but welcome back to a rather wet Aspire Zone in Doha, Qatar. The scene for the quarter-final between AS Roma and Spartak Moscow in this quarter-final, in this 8th edition. It's 1-0 to AS Roma at half-time. Nick Summerby's been sitting here. It's actually raining in the studio. I'm sorry. There's a drip of rain coming right down in front of me. Nick is alongside me. We don't get these conditions very often, but for a game of football, fantastic.
Perfect. Absolute perfect. I mean, the pitches are fantastic anyway. They're watered anyway, but this gives it even more zip. And okay, we built the game up, but I expect it to be like this. Everybody's done their homework. Everybody's nullifying each other. We have to talk about Mutalev. Tomasini, the right back, is playing fantastic against him, but he's got to keep believing. This is the goal
but
here
this
now.
was the breakthrough.
Yep, and with the wet weather as well, the ball's gone in. He's got that slices of touches. It's managed to skid off the surface. Keeper should have done better. It wasn't really in the corner. The keeper's got to be alert. You know, he's got to be able to put it out for a corner, but he doesn't do it. And you know, you think, well, Roma shaved it slightly and had the better of it in the first half, but it's a proper game of football. You don't have it your own way. You know, the higher you go, you don't. You know, the winger there, Mutalev, he's not having it his own way, so he's got to find a way. I think sometimes there's two players coming with him. He hasn't got to try and beat them. Just get the ball out, go out the other side where there'll be some more space.
Yeah,
and then
well,
he'll get
that's
space
what you're
after.
saying. Is, you know, we've seen him move about. We've seen him in the other games pop up in central positions, and he's going to have to sort of.
What I'm trying to say there is, when he gets the ball out on the left-hand side, two players go around him.
Yeah.
So two players around him means there's space somewhere else on the pitch. He's attracting players towards him, which is a good thing. So what he does is moves it quickly. Don't worry about beating anybody. Just move something, get it out the other side there, yeah? Get out the other side, and there'll be some space the other side because they're coming up and doubling up on him. All the little things where he's got to, he's trying all the time to beat them, which he will do. You know,
let's have a look at the goal again. So take the little short corner. It's obviously something they've worked on. It's a plan.
Yep, just throw it in there, you know, and it's a case of, can you get that? I mean, they're more or less going for the far post. Can you get that little bit of a touch on it? Get up there early, gets up in front of the defender, and he manages to put it into the bottom corner. And it helps with the rain, because it has been a bit of a downpour there, and it's zipped off the surface. But either way, when you look at the goalkeeper, it's not right in the corner. He should have really got a touch to it.
Yeah, I thought that might have shaken his confidence a bit, but he's made a few saves after that, so he's got that back, which is good
But
news.
the keeper wasn't
anticipating
the name of the game. That's what we're talking about. It's anticipate. We didn't think he was going to come.
I'm
He's all the time.
having nightmares about your anticipation.
But as soon as he goes up in the air, you're thinking it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're moving your body over there and you're ready. And I don't think he thought he was going to get the header.
Let's get through the chances, because to be fair, Spartak have had their fair share of opportunities as well. You know, some good shots, and this is the game starting off. Nice little top shot there from our drone. This is a Roma shot on target, early doors, in the 6th minute. Or a header, I should say.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you've got to say as well, Bamba is causing a few problems at number 5 for Roma.
Yeah, down that left-hand side.
If they can get the ball to him, early, I think the player what's playing against him, he's on a yellow card already. So you're waiting for some sort of quality in the game. You know it can come at any point. This is well done by the goalkeeper. Comes out of his box there, sniffs out the danger. But they're not causing many problems really, Moscow, like we thought they would do. So it's a credit to both sides and both managers that they've done the homework to nullify it. Great tackle that was, by the way.
Great. He was just offside, I think, but still it showed, you know, a great positivity there in defence.
Yep, you've got to keep going. You've got to try and find a way. You know, Moscow have got to find a way to get into this game somehow or other. They've got the quality to do it. Got to keep believing. I mean, this is a couple of headers here now where they really put Roma under pressure from set pieces. You know, and it could have very easily gone their own way. Look at that delivery, get it in there. There's a header, heads it down. Keeper's there just to put it out for a corner.
We saw the ball skid off there, actually. Pietro Boer, the goalkeeper, did extremely well to save that one.
Nearly a home goal. Look, you can just see there, he heads it back across for a corner. You know, it's very, very nearly a home goal there for Roma.
Another dangerous free kick. Fizzed in there.
This is a nightmare when the weather turns out like it is now. It's a nightmare for the defenders, for the goalkeepers, because of the zip off the surface. You know, once again, a wonderful delivery. There's a centre half getting up, gets underneath it. Maybe they can get back into the game from a set piece.
He's a big in-it, Tolstopyatov there, the number 2 defender for Spartak. Probably should have done better there. You know, he got himself to a good position there. He's a huge frame.
Yeah, he gets up, but just gets underneath the ball and heads it over though. But they look like, I mean, you've seen 3 or 4 corners and set pieces there. They look like they might get a bit of joy from that. So if they can try a little bit more of that, get some quality in there, try and get back into the game.
Yeah, it's a very delicately poised game. Spartak are down 1-0 at the moment. Let's show you the goal that separates the two teams at this stage. And here it came. in the 31st minute from the free kick. And it was Bove, his third of the tournament, by the way.
I don't think he'll be happy with the defending. The defender, I know Bove gets up early, but the defender's got to be there. He's got to get there first. You know, but here it is here now. Look, he gets a little bit lost. He's going backwards, but it's all about Bove getting up early before the central defender. Once he gets up, it's a case for him just getting the direction on the header, which he does do, and obviously it just zips off the surface, and the keeper gets fingertips to it, but not enough to put it out for a corner.
This is certainly a tournament where you get to see the stars of tomorrow today from all over the world, including homegrown talent from here in Qatar.
The Alkass International Cup. Akram Afif. Akram Afif is the most promising Qatari player of his generation. The left wing started as part of the Aspire Academy programme back in 2009. Recognised as one of the strongest in the world in terms of detection and selection of talents, as well as training, competition and evaluation of each adolescent player. Afif is a versatile forward player who can play as either a striker or be shifted over to accommodate the left wing position. The Qatari signed for Villarreal in 2016 and was one of the first from his country ever to play in the Spanish league. In 2017, Afif went on loan with KAS Eupen in the Jupiler League in Belgium. But this season, the Qatari is a key player for Al Sadd's coach, Gesualdo Ferreira. The market value of the Qatari is €700,000. Afif made his debut for the senior Qatar national team in September 2015 and scored in his first match. In 2019, with the El Adam, Akram Afif realised his dream. Against all odds and without any support in the AFC Asian Cup due to the blockage of Gulf neighbours, the Qatar team won the cup. In the future, Afif hopes to encourage more Qatari players to follow in his footsteps. Afif's dream is to be part of the Qatar team in the opening match of the 2022 Qatar World Cup.
شاركت في بطولة الكاس أكثر من مرة وخاصة مع فريق أكاديمية سباير. أتمنى كل التوفيق للفرق المشاركة في البطولة وخاصة من فريق أكاديمية سباير مع الجهاز الفني والإداري. التوفيق.
Goodness me, we're lucky to be able to see him every week in the QNB Stars League, and we saw him with Qatar, of course, winning the Asian Cup with record amount of assists in one game, 4 against North Korea. He's a joy to watch. That market value, of course, is just based on the fact that he hasn't really moved much. Yeah. I'm sure if somebody wanted to purchase him today, I think the price would be considerably higher, Nick.
I think he might get that opportunity. I think it would be a good idea with him. He plays in the local league, and not to say it's too easy for him. I think he needs to be tested a bit more because he's that good. I like that they've loaned that they put him out early to get a bit of an idea around Spain, which I think is good. Belgium as well. You know, now he is a fantastic player, and we've seen him on the top stage against some of the biggest countries in the world, football-wise, and he stands out. You know, he's really is something special, and he's part of the progress really towards 2022. And obviously winning the Asia Cup is a massive plus, and he's a huge part of that.
You said that stars would shine on this pitch today, even in the darkness and the rain here in Doha. Yeah, and there are some players on this pitch right here today for Roma and for Spartak Moscow.
This is football now. It's not when you're playing against someone who you get the better of and you beat them. That's easy. It's not when you're winning 5-0. That's easy. It's when you've got to roll your sleeves up. You're up against a fullback. You're up against a midfielder. He's having the better of it. You've got to overcome him somewhere. You've got to find a way how to do it. This is better. This is a better way to judge players, this now. You know, all of a sudden they come up, 2 equal sides, let's have a look, let's see how you can find a way. You know, that's it. I'm not interested in the big scoring games and when you're beating 6 players. Do it when you're up against someone that's difficult, because that's what they have to do when they get into the first team.
Okay, well, AS Roma are leading Spartak Moscow 1-0. We're almost ready for the second half, so let's go back out into the rain and rejoin our commentary team, Chris Makin and Mark Tompkins.
Well, I'm pleased to say that we've cleaned the windows of our commentary box at half-time, so we can see what's going on now. Roma back out for the second half, all ready to go. Keen to try and build on that 1-0 lead that they had, or were given in the first half. They're making a change by the look of it at half-time as well. We're going to see Daniel Tueto Fozzo coming on. Scored the late second from the penalty spot in the 95th minute against Kashiwa Reysol. Here come Spartak. And it's Astrologo who's gone off. So Tueto Fotso is the man that comes on. Slightly more attacking midfielder than Astrologo. Whether that's a tactical change by Fabrizio Picaretta or whether there was a bit of a knock picked up by Astrologo in that first half. Vashkovic Vyacheslav has made no changes to his side as yet, but he can make up to 5 in the second half should he wish. He does have the two Shitov twins, Vitaly and Vlad, on the bench. We've seen them come on in both matches so far. In fact, they are making a change at half-time, and it's Vlad Shitov that is coming on. So a bit of a late decision there from the Russian coach, but he has made the change, and it is Spartak that get us underway in the white shirts with the red band across the front, kicking from right to left in the second half.
It was an attacking change by AS Roma at half-time. Tueto Fotso will go on the pitch as the spearhead of the Italian attack. So brave move from the Italians.
Bove with the only goal of the game so far that put AS Roma in front. Good play by Cancelleri.
Got a bird's eye view of this battle here between Mataliev and Tomasini. Tomasini, the fullback, well on top in that first half. Can Mataliev strike back in this second half? Can he up his game? He's got to raise it to get the better of this Italian fullback. Looking for more of an impact from Goliathov as well, the Spartak centre forward.
Cancelleri. Good ball in, but Tolstopiatov will get there first. Roma looking to make a positive start to the second half. Comes off Genchu.
Just seems to throw himself to the ground there, Goliathov. Have a look. Maybe it was a push actually from Chuchi. No need to foul him there though. Well into his own half.
Ball over the top to Tueto Fotso! Oh. Caught it well, but was straight at the goalkeeper. First touch for the substitute, and what an impact that could have been.
Good idea from Trippi in midfield there, just lobs it over the top. Tueto Fotso unlucky, gets his shot on target though. High line of AS Roma again, really standing out for me tonight.
Kozadub's the player that's gone off, by the way, at half-time. Had a good impact in the early two games. Kozadub out wide, but not on this occasion. Shitov coming on as Spartak going 4-3-3 in the second half. Shitov's twin brother Vitaly is on the bench as well. Here is Vlad Shitov. Krom in, great ball across, great chance, just out of the reach of Levchenko. Mutaliev, little dink into the box, didn't have great conviction about it. Now Cancelleri runs into Genchu but gets a fortunate bounce. Little backheel from Stepanenko, who was hobbling a moment or so ago. Tolstopiatov. Could be a good second half, this.
What a ball that was from the right-hand side for Spartak Moscow, crying out for white shirts to get in the box and attack it.
Shitov again took a tumble. Suffer sticking to his task well. It's Milanese back on defensive duty. Throw-in taken quickly. Pull back in again. Bove was just clipped by Levchenko. So free kick to AS Roma, deep inside their own half. Good start to the second half though for Spartak. Great ball in.
Fantastic delivery. just in front of the player there. There's a chance there for Fotsu before.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, chatting the other day to Fabrizio Picaretta at the hotel, and he talks with great enthusiasm about his side. He's very excited by the players that he's got playing for him, which is, as a coach, it's good to see that you have that confidence in those players.
He's got a wonderful squad of players here. They're on the verge of making the semi-finals, and if you can win this tournament, this is the best tournament at this level. It's world class, so that'll be some achievement for both him and his players. There's Tomasini again getting the better of Vitaliev.
Bove, Cancelleri, winners of this will play Aspire Academy in the semi-finals. Cancelleri upended by Frolov.
He could have gone past the last defender again there, Cancelleri.
Oh, it's a second yellow card as well for Frolov. It's a red card, so Spartak are down to 10 men. Sorry to cut across you there, but
sorry,
second yellow for Frolov. So he goes, and Spartak are down to 10 men.
He can get the ball here, and he's tripped himself up there. I'm not sure about that. He's done it again. He leaves his trailing leg in. I'm telling you, he did it in the first half. He could go past the full-back and get a cross in there.
Bamba's ball in. The diving header was from Buttaro. So sending off number 7. We saw a sending off in the quarter-final yesterday between Rangers and Etoile. Kader for violent conduct.
Well, 1-0 up in this match, and a fairly even match. But the advantage is really swung to AS Roma now to see out this quarter-final tie.
Levchenko has dropped into the back 4 alongside Tolstopiatov. That's just out of Cancelleri's reach. It's always disappointing when teams have a player sent off. It changes the dynamic slightly, but how often do you see 10 men just raise their game that extra 10% and put pressure on? That's a lovely ball by Golyatov, just out of the reach of Shitov, who was a little bit on his heels there, the substitute. There's the challenge again.
I mean, he's got to slow down, you know. Who's it, the defender who gets sent off? Frolov. He's got to slow down. You've got to realise you've been booked in the first half. Slow the pace down. Don't dive in.
You saw him on the bench there. He was very quickly told that he couldn't stay on the bench. So I'm sure we'll see him up on the raised seating at some point, looking on, hoping his team could get back into this. Will be suspended for the next match, whatever happens, whether it's a semi-final or a playoff match for Spartak. Tueto Fotso's won the corner. Whether we'll see a change from Vashkovic via Vyacheslav, maybe getting a more defensive-minded player on so he can push Levchenko back into midfield. Milanese, Tomasini, Suffer, Bamba on a forward run, wasn't a great ball, comfortably cut out by Tolstopiatov. Shitov, Golyatov. Now they're starting to threaten a little. Good defending again by Tomasini.
He's a big, strong defender, isn't he? In opposition, attacking players find it so hard to get past him.
The free kick's gone Spartak's way. Bamba thought he'd been fouled. Two wins and a defeat in their last 3 coming into this for Spartak. They were beaten 4-0 by Lokomotiv Moscow. Big city rivals, of course. Real hotbed of football, Moscow.
The 3 teams from Moscow.
CSKA, Spartak, and Lokomotiv.
Yeah.
Spartak Stadium, I say, one of the stadiums that was used in the World Cup. Fantastic stadium, refurbed fully, and great atmosphere.
Which one's that?
Actually, it's actually the Spartak Stadium, but foul by Cancelleri. Just to a foul, Genshi. They did a couple of games there, actually. Poland against Nigeria, I think, and Brazil against Croatia.
Good stadium, yeah?
Yeah, really good. Good atmosphere. Nice compact. Well taken by Boroskin. Cancelleri just looked like he might left the leg in there, but thought better of it.
You feel if AS Roma get this second goal, it's game over.
Well, when the sending off for Etoile came yesterday, I think they were 5-0 down at the time, so it didn't really have too much of an impact on the game. But of course, this much different.
Right at the start of the second half as well. That's the ball that you need to play for Bambo. He's got to be behind. He's got to be able to run onto the ball. Here we go.
Good cross in. Tueto Fotso doesn't get a touch. Bove was right behind him, and they were both queuing up in the centre to apply the finish.
That's your one. That's your chance to put this game to bed. He seems to go with a volley. He's got to go with it. Throw yourself at it. And he does neither. He goes with his knee. Of all the parts of his body he can go with, he's either got to head it or volley it. He puts that away, it's game over for me.
Yeah, 2-0 with 10 men. They've given the ball away again.
Yeah.
It's Milanese. Might go on his own here. Milanese, good defending. Levchenko got back across to get the deflection in. But Spartak getting themselves into all sorts of trouble at the back. And when you're down to 10 men, the last thing you want to be doing is giving the ball away.
Milanese having a right go there. Tueto Fotso. He's got to take his shot on earlier. Gets closed down by the Russian in the end. Would have just exerting a little bit of pressure now, AS Roma. Look as though they're going to get that second goal sometime soon.
Another corner. Interesting for Fabrizio Picaretta playing Trippier in midfield today. We saw him push into midfield in the last match when the substitutions were made, but had played at central defence. Butaro coming in at the back alongside Chiuchi, just giving them a little bit of a different dimension in midfield. Tomasini pursued by Shitov.
Really enjoyed his role tonight, hasn't he, Tomasini? Been outstanding. Here he is again. That's the ball, that's the one. Good idea that by Trippier. First time ball round the corner. Soon that Russian defence are going to be tired now.
Stabbed away by Genshi. The losers, the same as the winners, will have at least 2 more matches to play. There'll be matches tomorrow. The 4 losing quarter-finalists play each other, and then the 2 winners will meet for 5th and 6th place, and the 2 losers for 7th and 8th, which may sound a little confusing. It's bounced off the top of the cross. Oh, he went out of play and came back in again. There is Frolov in the tunnel. Still disappointed about his sending off. But it's a learning curve, isn't it? As you said, he'll learn from that. He'll learn when he's on a yellow card that you can't dive in with tackles. Even if Cancelleri made a little bit much of it.
Yeah.
You know, the leg's there, he's put the leg out. And we said about Cromin as well up against Bamba.
He just gave Cancelleri the option to go down by just rushing in.
Genshi given away again. Chiuchi, Tueto Fotso, Bove. Now Bamba, 3 lined up in the centre.
The ball in.
Just whip it in, just too high for Chiuchi.
By the time he put the ball in, everyone was static. He had the chance to put it in earlier.
Making a change. Spartak. Magadamin Rabbananov is coming on. It's Daniel Grigorev, the man who's going off, so it is an attacking change. Rabbananov, attacking midfielder. Foul on Stepanenko. But they're still playing a sort of 4-2-3 formation at the moment. Spartak, they've still got 3 men in advanced positions rather than dropping one back into midfield.
We've got to go for it, you know, knockout stages, so still over half an hour to play.
Given away again by Levchenko. And again by Tolstopiatov. Cancellieri's shot was always rising high.
Can't keep spooning these opportunities, AS Roma, while it's still at 1-0. Got to put this game to bed as soon as possible.
Yeah, Francesco Totti, of course, the most famous AS Roma player, still involved with the club. He was instrumental in getting Justin Kluivert, Patrick Kluivert's son, to Roma. Edin Dzeko, also at Roma at the moment, the former Manchester City striker. Bove. Well done. Around the back of Levchenko. Tueto Fozzo. Nicely off to Milanese. Cancellieri's in space. Now 3 racing through the centre. See to make sure they don't stray offside. Good take by Boruskin. Well done by the goalkeeper. And straight away, Trippi putting pressure on Rabbananov. Stepanenko. Mutaliev. Haven't seen much of him in the second half as yet, but he is a danger. Golyatov. Rabbananov. Away from the challenge of Bamba. Nicely done. Stepanenko.
They've got white shirts forward, haven't they? Got to go into the box. It's not a bad delivery. Here we go. Oh!
Great ball in. Shitov didn't get off the ground, though.
He does everything right. Shitov gets right across the fullback. There's been 2 or 3 occasions in the match where you think the Russian player's going to make contact with a cross. Look at this for a delivery. Wonderful ball into the box. There's his movement.
Just doesn't get off the ground, does he?
Maybe it's just that little bit of body block from Suffer there. That's good defending from the Italian fullback. When it's in that situation, don't let the attacker get a clean run. Make it as difficult as possible for him, and he did that, Suffer then.
Mutaliev. That's the danger of a 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
You'd only need a set piece or a free kick for Spartak to get back into this.
They've had the chances as well, haven't they, Roma?
And then you think, well, we're into the final 30 minutes. If you get back into this, is it a question then you think, right, let's just hold out and go for penalties? That's possibly a good chance to win. It doesn't matter how many players you've got there. No extra time if it is level at 90 minutes, by the way. It would go straight to a penalty shootout. Spotted the Altanordu coach a little earlier on. They will play the losers of this match in the playoff game tomorrow. Cancellieri trying to thread it through to Bove. Tueto Fozzo! Good save, Boruskin. Outstretched leg from the goalkeeper. I think he's carried it over for a corner, but well, again, Tueto Fozzo with a wonderful chance to make it 2-0.
I think Boruskin, I don't know whether he's going to his right, and he just sticks out with his left foot here. Wonderful save. Oh, yes. Might be important, that, come the end of the match.
Roma corner. Boruskin with a punch. Corner on the opposite side. Looks like another change being prepared on the bench by Spartak. In swinger this time towards Boroskin. Plenty of movement in the penalty area. Tueto Futso! I'm not too sure he knew much about that one.
He turns his back on the ball. He goes with the back of his head here. I'm sure he does. Yeah.
I think he was just spun round by the defender more than anything. Shitov's back heel. Free kick to Roma. His side have been in a much harder battle than their first two games. Tomasini. Bamba. Oh, almost threaded it through to Milanese. Genshi. Mutaliev. We are going to see another change by Spartak. It's the first appearance in the tournament for Nikita Gloidman. Stepanenko, the man that came off, I think he might have picked up a knock not that long ago. Stepanenko, he was certainly struggling when he put that ball in a moment or so ago down in the corner. Bamba. Reminder, it's Real Madrid against Kashiwa Reysol coming up in about an hour's time. Final of the quarter-finals. Repeat of last year's quarter-final, 3-2 to Kashiwa on that occasion. 2016, Real beat Kashiwa 6-0. So it could be an interesting battle between those two. Milanese. Cancelleri's in loads of space on the far side. Cromin had just tucked in. Suffer. Just lost the ball slightly, still stabs it goalwards. Still going, Suffer. And gets the ball across. Tueto Futso! Cleared off the line. Well, he's claiming the ball went over the line. And the referee has given the goal. And Tueto Futso makes it 2-0 to AS Roma. And the man who's had two good chances so far in the half finally makes his third count. Boroskin tried to claw it out but couldn't. And AS Roma lead by 2-0.
This is a big call for me. There he's at the far post. Header's coming in now. Yeah.
I think that's all over the line. If you look at it, you might see better from here.
There we go. This is the one.
Yeah. Clearly over the line. Good decision by the official. Assistant referee right on the line. No goal line technology here. We do have VAR, of course, but no goal line technology. But the official's not needing it on that occasion. Roma are going to make a change.
Does it still go to VAR?
I suppose it could do. Normally when VAR has been used, we've had goal line technology as well. So that's I'm sure they could refer it if they needed to. Bamba's the man coming off. Chievo is the man coming on. So not had the best of days, Bamba. Started well.
There's more to come from him. Could start an impact at the semi-final, or if you get to the final stage.
I think he's good in this tournament. You often see the coaches putting an arm around players when they've come off, which is nice to see because no one likes being substituted. But at least if you get some congratulations for your performance, it makes you feel that a little bit better. That's a foul from Levchenko, or by Levchenko rather. AS Roma edging closer to the semi-finals. And here they come again. It's Bove! Oh, he's just rolled it wide. Great chance again for his second goal of the game, Bove.
This game should be over now. AS Roma just creating chance after chance after chance. I still think 2-0's enough, but we could, you know, just to make it really comfortable for the last 20 minutes of normal time, we did get a third goal. It would be better for the manager's nerves.
Away by Burt. And Tueto, Fotsu and Tolstopiatov both missed it. Boris Skin able to retrieve the danger. Remove the danger, rather. Suffer.
They're a good team to watch, aren't they, AS Roma? Play some delightful football.
Chievo, good pace. Great run with the ball as well, and gets it across. It's away by Gloidman.
Yeah, he started mainly as a substitute, Chievo, but he's caught my eye every time he plays. Very attack-minded player. AS Roma really cutting through Spartak Moscow now.
Started the opening game. Chievo. Mutaliev. I think this is one of the reasons Roma have done so well, because they've done a job on Mutaliev tonight. They've just stopped him playing.
That man in your picture there has been probably the man of the match. Tomasini's done a right job on Mutaliev, not giving him a kick. Before the match, you're looking at the matchups all over the pitch, and Mr. Balmardi there in your picture. I think he's going to be in the studio with me in a few minutes after this game. Good to catch up with him, former Qatar national team manager.
When the ball's volley around, was that handball? I don't know whether that was a handball. Deep inside the penalty area. Here's Genshu. Might have a look at that in a moment. Good ball through the defence, great ball across. Gloidman will try and pull it back again. Plenty of white shirts in the centre, went to try and slip it in at the near post, away by Burt. And then the offside flag goes up. Very late flag again. I'm not sure that was offside. I don't think that was the one. Why is it taken so long for the flag to go up? That's the question. Now the flag goes up after the shot and after the ball's come back off the goalkeeper. That's bobbling around. There's a handball, surely. Well, Cancellieri's... That's a change for Moscow, sorry. So Mutaliev has gone off. And it's the other Shitov brother, Vitali, that comes on. There's Bove. Great chance for Spartak to get themselves a goal though a moment or so ago. They just couldn't make their pressure count. Chievo. Trippy.
Well, the second half has been all AS Roma. They managed to get the other goal. They've had an opposition player sent off as well. Still coming forward, still creating chances. Quite comfortable.
Yeah, apart from that little scramble a moment or so ago, still a little surprised they've chosen to take Mutaliev off, because we know that he can be a danger man.
He's not had a kick though, has he?
But maybe he's a little bit one-dimensional. We haven't seen him switch sides or go through the middle, or, you know, he's always played down this left-hand side.
Yeah.
Maybe that's possibly where he lacks. Normally you maybe switch him and Shitov over maybe and give him a chance to have a run at Suffer down that far side.
He was getting no change out of Tomasini.
That's all credit to the defender. Here's Tolstopiatov. Shitov. He's got his brother racing through the centre. It's a little bit early when he released the cross. Oh, shots coming in more in hope than anything else now from Spartak. Dejected bench. Those players that have come off for Spartak.
Yeah, everyone's sat down now. No one's excited on that bench for Spartak Moscow. Eventually the manager stands up.
Well, I think this tournament, obviously we still don't know. We're assuming that AS Roma are going to go through to the semi-finals. We've got Kashiwa Real Madrid to come, but I think when you look at whichever 4 teams are in the semi-finals, it's now so difficult to call who could win this tournament. We thought Spartak would be the surprise package, but it's Roma and Rangers really that are turning out to be the surprises at the moment.
Now the 2 outstanding performances from the quarter-final stage so far. Let's have a look what Real Madrid and Kashiwa can bring us.
Yellow card for Tolstopatyov. Three Roma players inside the penalty area suffer. Little chip up. It was a good header from Gloidman. Chievo with his back to goal. Chiuchi.
Oh, wonderful play. Oh, wonderful play.
Oh, Chievo's ball almost found its way through to Eto Fotso. I'm sure it was meant as a shot. Bove goes down under Cromin's challenge.
Some wonderful dancing feet from Milanese a minute ago on the far side for AS Roma.
Just under Tomasini. I think the referee might. I don't think that's a penalty.
No.
I think it's a little nudge. I think she has just asked the throw in to wait while she gets some instruction from the
Yep. You can always
VAR
tell.
room.
You can always tell when the player looks up whilst mid-roll.
No. Minimal. Knew it was coming, I think, Bove. You see Cromin's reaction. And she's said, play under the change for Roma. Muteba coming on. That's Tomasini that's going off, so his job done, having kept Mutaliev quiet and quite to the point where he was substituted by Spartak.
Well done. Well done. Tomasini, fantastic performance. A very important role tonight.
Good ball across by Shitov, blocked by Trippi. It's a corner to Spartak. This could be an opportunity for them to try and get themselves a goal back. They've taken it short. Rebalanov. Well played again. Cancelleri, the goalkeeper's a long way out. He scored from long range on a number of occasions this season. Not this time, though. Still going. Well, a little trip was there from Tolstopatyov. Then he's bundled over by Cromin. Referee saw nothing wrong. Genshu. Rabadanov. Sliced across his own half by Chiuchi. Butaro's there.
I've enjoyed this performance tonight from AS Roma, really have, especially the second half. I know they were helped by the sending off of the Spartak Moscow player, but very silky going forward, aren't they?
But they've been patient as well. They haven't been too worried about the fact that they weren't able to break down Moscow early on. They got the goal in the first half, but you know, they have stayed patient. They missed those chances, but they stuck to their game plan.
Very attacking side as well, AS Roma. Some wonderful combinations when they go forward.
Travellini is going to come on as we approach the final 10 minutes of the match. Cancelleri is the man coming off. And I think Cancelleri's quite lived up to the promise that we would have perhaps expected. I know he's very highly rated, but
you can
he's
see
worked hard, he's done his job, but still looking for his first goal.
You can see it. Reminds me a bit of Gus Poyet. He's got that tall stature. He does look a goal scorer. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets on the score sheet. Maybe the semi-final or the final. He's a very attack-minded player.
Yeah, I'm sure the stage is set. He's still got 2 more matches to impress us. Semi-final, and then either the final or the 3rd, 4th place match. If Spartak do lose this, they'll have to play again tomorrow, so no real time for Vashkovic Vyacheslav to rally his troops. It does get to be playing for a little bit of pride when you get to those lower placings. We saw that from Paris Saint-Germain yesterday, but quite where Suwon Samsung got 4 goals from. We didn't see them scoring 4. But they had a really good performance yesterday against PSG. Bayern Munich finally got a victory as well against Raja.
You know, sometimes the team goes down to 10 men and they have a little bit of a go. It seems to spur them on, but AS Roma have given Spartak Moscow no chance to do that tonight. Dominated possession, still going forward with every given opportunity.
Kromin. Chievo just kept the ball in play. He's been a useful player to have off the bench.
I like him. Oh, as soon as I say that.
Commentator's curse.
Honestly.
He's winning back though, gave it away to Rabadanov and then wins it back again.
Don't let me down.
Chiuchi. Muteba.
Been a good first match, hasn't it, today?
It's been a completely different. Obviously, the first match yesterday was all about Rangers in the second half. It was 1-0 at half-time. 6 goals in the second half for Rangers, but this has been a much tougher battle in terms of tactical play. And even allowing for the fact Spartak have been down to 10 men for much of the second half, they've still given a good account of themselves. We'll start to feel it in those legs now as we approach the final 7 minutes. So we always say that hopefully, whatever your situation in this tournament, you take some positives. Here's the header from Travellini. He just got too much on it, was just trying to help it with the pace on the corner, but too strong. Safa. Butaro. Tueto Fozzo. Chievo. Oh, nicely done. He could be in here. Might go on his own. Oh, good defending. It was Shitov that got back with a challenge. Still there pressing. Oh, good defending by Rabadanov as well. It was Chievo that was about to pull the trigger. Another change for Spartak. Vladislav Saumov we're seeing for the first time. It's Genshu, the man that's gone off. Just getting some bodies on now, some fresh legs for the final few moments.
Couldn't make him his mind again, did he? The goal scorer. Just went to Fotso. You know whether to head it or volley it. In the end, does neither.
Trippy. Muteba. Butaro. Roma finishing strongly. Sufa. Wasn't a great cross, away by Shitov. Well, not away by Shitov. Milanese. Just too high. Foul on Levchenko. Salmov. Away by Chiuchi. It's not been his night. Rashkovic, Vyacheslav. But he'll have a chance to raise his players again tomorrow when they take on Altanordu. We'll bid to see who finishes in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Still got 2 more matches to go at least. Trippy will put the ball out of play, so Vlad Shitov can get some treatment. Three minutes to go. 3 minutes from AS Roma going through to the semi-finals. 3 minutes from a second consecutive clean sheet. 9 goals scored, just 2 conceded so far. Free kick given away against Tueto Fotso. Travolini. Good block by Rabadanov. Sufa. Chiuchi. Bove. Scored the first goal in the first half. Eduardo Bove to get Roma on their way. Tueto Fotso added a second, despite the efforts of Boriskin. The ball did cross the line. Reminder, Real Madrid, Kashiwa Reysol coming up in the second quarter final of the day. And another change for Roma, Luca Anglietti coming on. And Sufa, again, like Tomasini on this near side, has had a good game at fullback. They've all played their part, all the players that have not only come off the bench, but of course the starting 11, all 5 changes made now by AS Roma. The semi-finals to come on Wednesday. 3rd place match and the final on Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Rabadanov. Chiuchi. Shitov. Levchenko loses possession. Travellini. Solid challenge from Tolstopiatov. Will run the ball all the way through to the goalkeeper, Pietro Burr. Hasn't had too much to do in this second half. There was that one little spell from Spartak where they had a bit of a scramble. There was a little bobble around with a hint of handball, but just wasn't to be the Russians' night. Rabadanov. Ball played through the defence once again, but straight through to the goalkeeper. Three minutes added time at the end of the 90. Away by Chiuchi. Anglietti's dropped in at right back. Mutseba's gone across to left back now. And he's fouled by Shitov. Bove. Nice quick feet. Anglietti. Travellini went for the acrobatic. Chievo! Finishes in some style to put the seal on a victory for AS Roma. Oh no, he doesn't, because the flag's gone up for offside. But again, it's a very late flag. Well, he looks in amazement. I think it's a touch from Tueto Fozzo, from Travellini. Very late flag in the corner once again, though. And Chievo denied a goal to make it 3-0. Alkass players training in the gym just behind Boroskin's goal. I think the referee is still listening maybe to VAR. We may have a look at that again. She's told the goalkeeper to wait for the whistle. Well, I don't think he is offside. Look at the line. It's the final defender. It's the touch at the near post. Chievo's definitely onside. Tueto Fozzo doesn't get a touch. He's clearly onside there. You may get the faintest of touches. I'm still waiting to find out if it is going to be a third goal for AS Roma. The VAR room you can see on the top right of your picture. Whole range of monitors looking at their own replays constantly while the game's going on. They're taking an age to decide this one. This is where perhaps sometimes VAR doesn't quite work if it's not as clear-cut as you would expect on the replays. We've already played well over the 3 minutes added time. The players just trying to keep loose, just jogging on the spot, waiting to See if it's going to be a goal kick. There's the line. You can see Chievo's clearly behind the line. I think Tueto Fotso's behind the line as well. Look at the... It's difficult to tell. It's just there. They look like they're the wrong side of the defender, but it's when that touch comes, they've moved back. And Chievo's clearly onside when he touches the ball. It's a question of whether Tueto Fotso is offside just before in the first phase of that move. Whatever happens, Roma are going into the semi-finals. I'm not too sure how long we've been waiting for this decision now. It's got to be a good 3-4 minutes. And they're still trying to make up their mind. Well, those Roma fans will be here again on Wednesday for the semi-final. Oh, and she's given the goal. Finally, it is a third goal. So Chievo's wait is over. He does have a third goal. It took forever to get to the decision, but they've decided that he was onside. He's all smiles. There's the little flick from Travellini, and then helped on just the faintest of touches by Tueto Fotso. And Chievo into the roof of the net to make it 3. It's tough on the Russians, who have been down to 10 men after Frolov sending off. Shitov, Milanese. Travellini in behind Levchenko. Great ball across. Chievo! Good save, Boryskin. What a chance for 4-0. Credit to the goalkeeper. Makes a wonderful save. Caught it on the volley beautifully. And the goalkeeper reacted well to get a hand to it. Roma corner. Well, there goes the full-time whistle. AS Roma booked their place in the semi-finals after a 3-0 win against the Russians, Spartak Moscow. Bove, Tueto Fotso and Chievo, the substitute, with the third. Frolov was sent off in the second half for Spartak on what's been a disappointing day for the Russians. But they have a chance to redeem themselves. They'll still have 2 matches to play. They'll take on Altanordu in the place matches tomorrow, while AS Roma will go on to face Aspire Academy in the semi-finals. Bove rose highest to head in the first after a torrential rainstorm, and from there Roma kicked on. Bataliev was kept quiet, and that was key really to Roma's successes. Fabrizio Picaretta had his team set up beautifully. Tueto Fotso scored the second. The ball had crossed the line. And then right on full time, Chievo made it 3. We had an agonising 3 or 4 minute wait while VAR decided if it was a goal or not. And the full-time stats show Roma had much more of the ball than Spartak. Plenty more shots in the game as well. Eduardo Bove is the MVP, scored the first goal. He goes on to 3 in the tournament, and he's played his part in a 3-0 win for AS Roma.
Well, a fantastic win for AS Roma. They're 3-0 over Spartak Moscow. Spartak Moscow down to 10 men early on in the second half, but there was a couple of individuals for Roma as well who really did a job on certain players in the Spartak Moscow team and sort of negated the whole thing. Chris Makin was there, of course, co-commentating with Mark Tompkins, and Tomasini in particular was a standout player for you.
You've got to give him the man of the match award, or I would anyhow, because, you know, going into the game we talked about Metaliev and what a danger he could be for Spartak Moscow. So there's little matchups all over the pitch, and you're looking at that one there. And Tomasini had him in his pocket, so to speak. He's a big defender. He's got the pace on Metaliev.